Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Coogan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. And you already know, I'm always delighted to be joined by my big mate, Billy Nelson. Billy, first and foremost, how's things, mate?
Oh, very good, mate. I had a nice wee visit over to Belfast last week with Lewis Crocker. Put in a really strong, solid performance, powerful punching, and managed to get his opponent, who'd never been stopped before, out in the fourth round. An exceptionally good shot.
Well, I do want to touch on Lewis because obviously he's in and around them divisions that have got dangerous fighters in there at world level, at that elite level. And I do want to talk about Lewis and how far do you think this man can go, because he does pack a punch. But I do want to stick on the news, the latest news of what's happened. Obviously, the Joshua fight initially being cancelled due to Dillian White having an adverse finding in one of his tests, one of his bad tests, I believe it was. And now Robert Helenius stepping in with 6 days notice to face Joshua. Billy, just your initial thoughts on both of those things.
Well, with regards to Dillian, there's something far wrong, because Dillian was probably getting a career highest purse, and something doesn't sit right with me with these tests, especially after the Conor Benz saga. You'd rather judge what the happenings with Dillian White once the full reports out of what supposedly was in the samples and what his reasoning is. So you don't have the guy guilty before he's even been proven guilty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that if anything we've learned from the Conor Ben stuff is that let's just wait till all the facts come out and
100%.
stuff like that. But you know what I mean? Like Robert Helenius, he stepped in to fight Joshua. Now Robert Helenius, he has fought Dillian White. He went 12 rounds with Dillian White. He did get stopped by Wilder in the first round. I think he got stopped by Gerald Washington, who's on the card as well. So he has mixed it in that world level before. What do you make of the opponent for Joshua?
Well, he got offered Martin BAKOLE about 10 days ago and said no.
Robert Helenius?
We offered him a fight for September the 2nd, and they said no just before he was to fight that guy on Saturday night. It was about a week before he fought that guy. But hey, me personally, the shot against Wilder didn't land flush. I thought there was a wee bit of a Tom Daly involved in the punch, a wee dive. But hey, and he came out straight after the fight and says he's retired. He done an interview outside his hotel, waiting in his transportation to the airport, and he said, "I'm retired." If you're even thinking about retiring, or you've stated that you're retiring, your mind's no 100% in boxing, obviously. And then to go and fight Anthony Joshua, what's he going for? Does he honestly think he's got a chance against him? When he fought a guy, a 6-fight novice on Saturday night,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then you're stepping up to fight Anthony Joshua. And I don't blame Joshua. How can you blame Anthony Joshua? He's no one to risk getting extremely well paid against Deontay Wilder.
Mm-hmm.
I'd do the same if it was Martin BAKOLE against somebody else, 100%.
Can you see why they
people?
Sorry, Billy.
The people I do feel sorry for, the fans. You know, the people that have paid good money for their tickets and hotels, flights, train fares, etc. You know, it's a wee bit shitty for them, but so people need to understand this happens in boxing.
Yeah,
it does happen. I've been on the good side and the bad side. You know.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it happens in boxing, Billy, and it's an unfortunate thing that it does happen in boxing. The everything that goes along with it, but especially weeks out with the fans. But I do want to touch on it. Robert Helenius, do you think it's, when you look at Dillian White, right, to prepare for something, because it's sounding like he's going to fight Deontay Wilder. It might not be in December now, but it's looking like maybe beginning of next year. Now, if you look at Dillian White, 6'3", stocky, not maybe the perfect preparation for something like Deontay Wilder, but then you look at Robert Helenius, he's 6'7", same height. He's got a big right hand. Again, I'm not saying he is Deontay Wilder, but I'm saying in terms of preparation, he's the ideal heavyweight to prep yourself for somebody like Deontay Wilder going into next year.
No, not the ideal one. Martin BAKOLE would have been an ideal one. 6'6", tall, fast, long arms, great jab. There's the ideal opponent for Wilder.
All right. I thought you were
for AJ, for Wilder.
You're
talking
talking
if we want a prep fight, but listen, Martin's not a prep fight for anybody. You know that. He's not a prep fight for anybody. So, but listen, it is what it is, Andy. They've already made the Chisora against Jared Washington. Honestly, that's horrendous. That's nearly as bad as what Helenius versus AJ. It's going to be so one-sided. It's unreal.
If you'd got the call, Billy, if Eddie Hearn phoned you up or somebody had phoned you up from Boxer and said, listen, you've been offered the fight, 6 days notice, Martin BAKOLE, to fight Anthony Joshua in London, would you have took it?
Mm-hmm. Would have said, what time's the flights? Book is in, 2 rooms.
Twin beds.
Down there. We were in Belfast and we get put in a twin room. Seriously, that big BAKOLE going into a single bed. It was hilarious. He went into reception, just bought a double room himself.
Oh, did he?
No. Of course we'd have took the fight. Of course we would have. As long as the money side it was fair for Martin. Of course we would have. We'll fight Anthony Joshua anytime. Fight any of the top fighters.
When you said,
unfortunately, they won't fight us.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It seems like you'll find it hard. It's harder for. It seems like Martin's finding it hard to get them names in the ring with him.
With the fullest respect, Eddie Hearn said today, he was questioned, why don't you fight Martin BAKOLE? And he just gave the honest answer. He said, Martin's too dangerous a fight. And that's the be all and end all of it. But there's obviously these people in forums are Martin's avoiding this and avoiding. Get a grip yourself, guys.
What's going to happen? What's next for Martin? Then obviously Ben Shalom told me there's news coming up. You've hinted at a fight coming up. I've yet to see anything announced. So can you shine any light on that?
Well, we were meant to be fighting on the 2nd of September, but Boxer have really struggled to get as an opponent. I don't think we'll be fighting now till maybe end of September, October. Martin's absolutely gutted. You know what I mean? He's gutted.
I was going to say, what's Martin's feelings right now then?
Well, we got offered Jermaine Franklin. We never got offered Jermaine Franklin. He got offered the fight. Yeah, I think he knocked it back 3 times. He got 3 improved offers and knocked it back each and every time. Who was the other? Well, I was told Michael Hunter knocked back the fight. He's obviously denying that, but you take that with a pinch of salt. What Michael says. And there was somebody else. Who was the other person? Oh, Helenius knocked it back. And Takam knocked it back. So, and for the money Martin's earning, Martin's got a good contract with Boxer, so there is a budget. What Sky can do. So, hopefully it will get resolved at the end of September or October time.
Well, fingers crossed, mate. Because, like I say, the heavyweight division is heating up and it's looking very competitive now, and Martin BAKOLE deserves to be in there. But I did say at the beginning of this interview I want to touch on Lewis Crocker. He's a welterweight. He can bang. He's had 3 fights with you.
3
fights with you. You've had him in the gym for a few months now. How good is this kid, and how far can he go?
Well, he's exceptionally good. If I honestly think he's one of the hardest punchers at welterweight in the world. There's no doubt about that. The guy's the hardest puncher, pound for pound, I've had on the pads. Ferocious puncher. But see, if you took that power away from him, he's still very good skill-wise. You know, he's going to be a top fighter.
Wait, you've had me on the pads.
I know. But no, I never actually put the pads on that day. I just took it on the hand. No, fantastic fighter. The boy works really, really hard. He's so focused when he's here. And obviously, he's away from Belfast because of the distractions, so he can solely focus. He was down in Adam Booth's gym down in England, and he was very unfortunate. Then a few fights cancelled at the last minute. I think one got cancelled by a day or two to go, and he picked up an injury as well. Got a wee bit disillusioned, went back to Belfast, and then Jamie asked me would I be interested in training him, and I didn't know who he was, to be perfectly honest, because I you know me, I just focus on my own fighters, and I had a wee look at him, and I thought, I like what he's making a fighter. He's making a fighter.
Yeah, and he's definitely a fan-friendly fighter.
Aye, and he's I don't know. I think he's improved quite a wee bit since he's been here already. Good listener, great learner, picks things up really well. And what I do like about him as well, he'll give me his opinion. See, the boxers that just they think I can operate them, maybe control. That's not the case. I like boxers that ask questions, because that means they're clear in their mind what I'm looking for and what they're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot going for him. He's got a big fight in December. So
good. And like I say, he's in that division now, which is stacked with talent. It's a danger. The welterweight division, the light middleweight divisions are always stacked with talented fighters. Billy, is that the gold glove that I got you signed? Is that the famous glove?
That's the 30 months glove there, aye. No, 30 months. I'm a liar. It was 30 months, wasn't it? 2.5 years.
2.5 years, aye.
Did Josh stay at one letter per month or something?
No, it was one stroke per month.
What he actually says to me, he says, I'm sorry for that arsehole Andy. He says, I'd have done that straight away. He says, if he don't know he asked.
Billy, I just kept on forgetting, mate. It was in the boot of my car, but I have got this little compartment in my boot, and it sits in there. So it's been sitting there for the best part of 30 months. I forgot. I actually forgot what colour of glove it was. See, when you brought it into the change rooms in Edinburgh, I would have had to guess what colour the glove was that I gave you. I forgot all about it. Well, you know what?
Because you let me down. It's only because you'd let me down so often, Andy. You just became known as Andy.
Let down.
The guy that lets you down.
Right. Okay.
Let down Andy.
Let down Andy. Well, listen, I'm not going to let you down because I'm going to pop in and see you at the gym. When's Lewis Crocker back in the gym, in fact?
I've told you email me in future.
Email?
If you want to come on.
It's 2023, Billy. I've got your number.
I'm only kidding, pal. You can come anytime. When's Crocker back?
Aye.
There's it there. Either next week or a week after. He's probably no fighting to December, so he'll probably get 2 weeks off.
Right, okay.
I did say a week, but...
Right.
And then
I'll pop in when Lewis comes back. I'll pop him when Lewis comes back, and I'll get to chat with everybody again. But Billy, as always, thank you so much for doing this on a Tuesday evening. Is it? Tuesday evening. I do appreciate your time as always, mate. And listen, like I said, I'll give you a phone on Sunday anyway, because I'll get your thoughts on the Joshua Helenius fight and all the heavyweight fights that are on the undercard as well. So we'll get a good chat Sunday. Excuse me. We'll get a good chat Sunday. Okay. And I'll see you soon, brother.
All the best, mate.
Thank you, Billy. Thanks, mate. Bye now.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.